Welcome to TV by Tatiana. Today is my smart and single guide on how to listen to your intuition and conquer your fear.
I've always had an independent spirit, but being single in this city is an adventure. This is my smart and single guide to business, dating, and life.
I love talking about conquering your fears. To me, it's the most crucial step in getting yourself out of any rut in life. And when I say fears, I'm not talking about any dangerous types of fears. Oh no, I'm a safety girl. I mean those emotional and social fears. Of course it's scary. Conquering your fears is opening you to the unknown, whether it be the criticism of others, self-criticism, or just the fact that you aren't going to have your own comforts. What I've learned through the people that I have coached is that every time you're about to do something big, fear comes seeping in, and boy is it powerful. I have a client whose long-term goal was to own her own photography studio, and she put it out there and worked her butt off, and sure enough, the perfect studio in the perfect neighborhood happened to fall in her lap. But it wasn't even just the studio, it was everything that came with it. The day that she was going down to pick up the keys, she freaked. It was something that she had wanted for so long, and as soon as it was actually attainable, the fear started setting in. For me, I just launched my website. You have no idea how hard and long I worked on that. And finally, when I get to that moment where everything is working and it's just a push of the button, I went crazy. My hands got clammy, I started sweating, I texted 3 friends and made all sorts of excuses, even though I knew I had to do this. What I will say, conquering your fears gets easier because you expect it, so you know how to deal with it. But what about intuition? Intuition is that gut feeling that something is just not right for us. Problem is that we tend to ignore our intuition and listen to our fears. The best way to differentiate between intuition and fear is to ask yourself 3 questions. 1, is this healthy for me? 2, am I just scared? 3, what's the worst thing that could happen? If you know that doing this just isn't healthy for you, that's your intuition. It's that gut feeling that you can't really pinpoint what it is about the person or scenario, but you just know that it isn't right. Now, if you know that the next step you're about to take is healthy for you, and that the worst thing that could happen is that you could fail, well, that's fear, baby. I could talk to you all day about failure and why failure is your friend. I don't believe in failure. The only failures in life are the ones that you don't learn from. Failing means you're living, you're learning, you are moving forward. Now, if you keep failing at the same thing over and over, then girl, you are crazy. Why? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. But as the great Lady O says, when you know better, you do better. Speaking of Oprah, did you know that even she failed? She was fired as a news reporter for being too emotionally attached to her stories. Want a few more famous failures? Walt Disney was fired from the Kansas City Star because his editor said he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Where would the world be without Mickey? And what about the king, Elvis Presley? After playing in Nashville's famous Grand Ole Opry, he was told by the concert hall manager that he was better off returning to Memphis to do his old job of driving trucks. Lady Gaga? She got dropped only 3 months after singing with a major record label. Talk about a bad romance. As of 2013, Gaga sold over 125 million singles. Now my boy, Bill Gates, he dropped out of Harvard to start a business called Traf-O-Data, which completely flopped. Luckily, he tried his hand at business again, and this time, Microsoft was born. And let's not forget the ultimate crusader, Steven Spielberg. He was rejected from film school 3 times. And for the smart and single ladies that will one day make it down the aisle, Miss Vera Wang would never have been the wedding gown queen had she not failed to make the U.S. Olympic figure skating team. I don't know about you, but sad Sounds like failure's the thing to do these days. I want to hear, what have you failed at and what fears have you conquered? Make sure to go to bytatiana.com and right below this video, leave a comment. Did you feel inspired by today's post? Don't keep it for yourself, you little hussy. Share it with your smart and single sisters. And I will see you next time on TV by Tatiana, the dating, business, and life coaching for the smart and single.
Are you smart and single? Go to bytatiana.com and sign up for my weekly newsletter.
Criticism, the best way to differentiate, and to the worst thing that could happen is that you could fail. Pinpoint.